If you spend hours or even days creating presentations, I'm going to show you something simple. I generated this internal deck in under 5 minutes, and it's actually 90% on brand, perfect for a quick presentation. Here's the 5-minute workflow sped up. So basically, I just upload the slide text document. I upload my brand deck just as a style reference. I write a prompt. I click generate, and 5 minutes later, it's done. I'm using a tool called NotebookLM by Google. It's free to use, and it's super powerful for a bunch of things. Presentations being a new feature that they've added, and it works great. Here's what I'll show you in this video. The workflow that I use to create the deck that you're looking at right now, how it saves hours, where it's limited, and the full live process at the end so you can copy the exact same flow. If you make decks, you already know the pain. You're constantly updating the deck and making edits. You're in like a never-ending cycle of feedback with other people, and you rebuild the same thing over and over. You're trying to turn messy information into something clear and then doing it all over again tomorrow. So a quick reality check on what you can actually do with NotebookLM. The slides have a watermark, and the slides are images, not editable text boxes. So this is not necessarily a client final deliverable tool unless you're super happy with the output and you've manually removed the watermarks. But for internal decks, workshops, sales prep, and a quick and clean presentation that's still on brand, it's genuinely useful. It's for when speed matters more than perfection, and it can save you hours. Here's my actual workflow. First, I write the slide text. In this case, I wrote the slide copy with ChatGPT using two things. First of all, my tone of voice document and a strategy document. That prep isn't always necessary, but it helps keep things on brand. Next, I upload two sources into NotebookLM. The slide text that I just wrote with ChatGPT, and this is the only content that it's allowed to use in terms of text, and my own brand intro deck, which is just to make sure that the visuals are done in my style. Next, I write one prompt telling it to create a 12-slide deck using the exact text from the slide copy document and using the brand deck for design inspiration only, making sure that it doesn't use any of the brand deck's content. And that's basically it. If the deck comes out great, job done. If there are any problems, I have two options. I can regenerate the entire deck, or I can manually regenerate individual slides inside the deck using the same image generator that powers NotebookLM, which is Google's NanoBanana image model. Saving time is the whole point. This kind of internal deck, even though it's just internal, used to take hours, and now it's minutes with a few manual edits, maybe. The win here isn't no work. The win is no blank page. So these are my quick quality control steps, which are super simple. First of all, I ask, did it use my exact slide text or did it rewrite it? So far, I've never had a problem. Secondly, does it feel on brand visually? And this one does, about 90%. And last of all, I ask, is there anything weird? And if it's all good, done. And if there's something wrong, I just regenerate the deck with a more detailed prompt, or I swap out one of the slides that feels off. Okay, so now the limits. Like I said before, you can't edit the text directly, and there's a watermark that you have to manually remove. Sometimes the visual style can be a little off, and sometimes you need to regenerate the whole thing, but then we're still only talking about another 5 to 10 minutes work. So you can treat this like a kind of thinking tool that quickly creates pretty good decks and does all of the design for you. If you need a client-ready deck, I'd use this as version like 0.5. And then if you want, you can build the final deck properly with, fully editable text and movable images and things like that in PowerPoint or Keynote or whatever you use. So here's a really quick win. Even if you just do the absolute minimum, which is just the slide text and one prompt, you can still skip the worst part, which is just staring at blank slides. And you've almost instantly got something to work from. Best case scenario, you can use the deck as is, as I am right now. One quick note on how I used a NotebookLM in this particular case. This is a really simple use case, but NotebookLM is way more powerful than just like deck from slide text. NotebookLM can handle up to 50 sources. So if you don't have a slide plan, you can just attach sources and ask for a specific kind of deck. So for example, you could attach sales figures, brand guidelines, tone of voice. You can attach your company's website as a source. And then you could prompt it something like, summarize what the sales data means, highlight key risks and opportunities, and create a clear internal update deck. And then NotebookLM will do the thinking for you and create a deck that communicates really clearly, and it can be a surprisingly good way to organize information visually. Sometimes that's all you need for your boss or your team or for your own thinking. So the real question isn't, can AI make decks faster? Absolutely it can, but the real question is your input clean enough that the output won't create new problems? The output is only going to be as good as your sources and your prompt. Messy in, messy out. If you want to find out where you stand with using AI in your company and workflows, we made a scorecard. It's a 5-minute self-assessment that tells you how well you're currently using AI in workflows like this one. The idea is you see what to fix first before you start trying to automate everything. The link is in the description, and I promise you, it asks some questions that might help you be a little brutal with yourself. All right, now I'll show you the process I used to make this deck without any edits. If you try this workflow yourself, tell me how it turned out, and I'll give you my advice. Okay, so I'm in NotebookLM. I'm just going to create a new notebook, and then it brings me straight to upload sources. First, I'm going to enter in my company introduction deck. So that's going to be one source. I'll click add another source, and I have already created all of the slide content that I want. So I'll just insert that. I will also add the script of this video just to give NotebookLM a little bit more context. So I'll upload that as well. I'm just going to rename this source as slide content. And then I'm going to click save. Now I'm going to go to generate a slide deck, and I'm going to click the customize slide deck. I'll keep it at default. And here, this is where we enter our prompt. So I'm just going to say, create a slide deck using the exact content from the slides deck document, except the slide numbers. Use the quietly smart design fast fix less PDF for design inspiration only. Do not use any of the content from the quietly smart PDF. Only use content from the 14 slides in the slide content document. I'm going to use the same visual language, colors, typography, illustrative styles, soft claymation from the PDF. And I'm also going to add here, add illustrations where appropriate. Then I'm just going to click generate, and I expect this to take about 4 to 5 minutes. Okay, it's been almost exactly 7 minutes, so now it is judgment time. So let's just have a look at what it looks like. Here are all the slides. It's used my character correctly, which is quite a surprise. And yeah, in general, it's done great. It's used the right colors. It's used the right kind of illustration style. And there's our deck. So if you want to figure out how ready you are for integrating AI into lots of your workflows, check out the AI readiness kit in the description below, and you'll get more videos like this in the future. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.